Hello, my name is Dean Kartova, and this is the Current Buzz. Thank you for watching. Today we have Peter Dew. Peter Dew is a media production specialist at Chemsed Telemedia, but we're going to talk about drones. In regards to drones in the future, there's some high schools in this country and other countries that are talking about having drones in the classroom, and you would like that, wouldn't you? I mean,
I think it'd be great. Yeah.
okay, yeah. And so we're going to talk about that. Hint, hint. Chemsed High School and Chemsed Middle Schools in regards to drones. So he also just got his license. Peter did, and we got a federal license from the FAA, and he's going to explain to us what drones are. He's been doing drones since 2020. He plans to fly drones over the high school football games, but he can't fly them over crowds. And you'll see the drone flying at the football games, maybe soccer games too, or all games.
Possible, yeah.
Possible.
It's all about what the
infancy.
kids can make it happen, yeah.
It's in the infancy. Chemsed Telemedia did fly drones about 7 or 8 years ago, but the gentleman who did that eventually left. And now you're picking up the pieces more or less to start flying drones for Chemsed Telemedia.
Yeah.
Which is something new.
It sort of is. So we had, I think, a couple different staff members who used to fly. We had a Phantom drone back in the day. That was one of the earlier models that DJI made. And so we've got some footage dating back, as you said, 7, 8 years or so. But they have moved on. They're no longer working at Chelmsford Telemedia. Right. And the other thing that's happened since then is that the regulations have changed drastically. When these sort of camera drones first came on the scene, they were a new thing.
Right.
We didn't have regulations really.
It was like the Wild West.
Exactly. Anytime a new technology comes out, it takes a little while for the legislation to catch up.
That's correct.
And so that was very much the case with the drones when they were in their infancy. It was basically anybody could go out and buy one and start flying it around. Pretty quickly, they developed some regulations.
Right.
And I would say probably by 2018 or 2019, they had a relatively robust set of regulations that, limited what you could do with them, where, when, required you to have some kind of identification.
Well, why don't we talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely.
Not into detail, but I understand they can't fly higher than 400 feet. Is that my understanding now?
Yes. There are some exceptions to that. So, for example, if I'm flying my drone along and I come along to a radio tower that's 1,200 feet tall, I can fly to the top of that radio tower if I'm inspecting the equipment or something like that as a drone operator, but only within a certain distance of that tower. So by and large, yes, you're correct. Yeah. It's 400-foot ceiling on these.
That's kind of low, isn't
it? It is, and it isn't. For what these are made to do, which is get great photos and video, it's pretty much adequate. You really don't need to go much higher than that. And you'd be surprised when you're looking at the perspective of the drone, how much you can see from that height. But that being said, the main benefit of doing that is that it keeps it really well outside of the airspace that commercial aircraft and piloted aircraft, manned aircraft, I'm trying to say, would be using.
It's also called the uncrewed vehicle.
Yes, I think the technical term that the FAA is using now, and it's changed a couple times, is, I got to hear, Small Unmanned Aircraft Systems, so SUAS. There's other terms like UAV, Unmanned Aerial Vehicle. There's a bunch of, or drone. Drone is kind of the catch-all.
Yeah. I mean, we've been using drones in this country. I know drones were used in Vietnam, but it was a secret operation. Basically, it didn't come out till near the end that drones were being used. It wasn't in its infancy because they've been using drones before.
They've had some kind of drone going back to like World War II when they were doing target drones.
But now people are interested because of Ukraine and drone warfare.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing. And I don't think our country's ready for drones. Are ready for drone warfare. I don't think
think anybody is.
I think we're learning by what we see in Ukraine.
Yeah.
And their manipulation of drones and how they fly them into
Yeah.
other territories, etc.
It's definitely been interesting for me as a a drone pilot and an operator to sort of keep track of what's going on over there.
I think everyone is keeping track, even the
Definitely, yeah.
even the U.S. government.
Yeah.
All the governments in the world are going to want keeping
well,
track.
it's because in a way it's I hesitate to use this term, but it's a test bed, right? Everybody, like you say, is watching
Yep.
and taking notes right now,
That's right.
and going, how is this going to affect us in the future?
That's right.
And I fortunately in this country with what I'm doing, I don't have to worry too much about all that stuff. But just by virtue of using these, I do, I can tell you that this larger drone is capable of carrying something. As soon as it's capable of lifting more than its own weight, you can imagine you can put a payload on it, and there's all kinds of applications for that, both civilian and military.
Yeah, right.
The drones that have been used in Ukraine are a little bit different than these. These are both sort of commercial DJI drones that are really made for camera work. The ones that they're using in Ukraine, for the most part, are going to be FPV drones, which means first-person view. With these drones, I've got this controller here. You can see this is, it's just a little screen. It shows me what the drone sees, and then I can pilot it with the joysticks.
I see.
For a Ukrainian operator, what most of them are using, they've actually got a headset on that gives them, they've got a screen on each eye, and they see exactly what the drone sees.
Wow.
And they've got a controller that they're using. And what I'm doing and what they're doing are on a completely different level. Because what those guys are doing, they're strapped into the drone's perspective. And so you can imagine if they flip around, their brain has to deal with that. And it's not like being in a fighter jet flipping over, because your body's not moving.
I was going to bring that up because the F-35 fighter pilots have the same helmet type of thing that they visually see. So
with that's kind of a VR situation.
Yeah,
but the advantage they've got is that they don't get as sick, because their body is, their brain's not going, whoa, what's going on here?
And they have a G suit on. So
exactly. So that's why in a lot of reporting and news articles and things, you'll see them talking about how a lot of the drone pilots in Ukraine are former video gamers.
Right.
Because that skill set translate. If you're used to having a VR goggles on, then strapping into a drone is not too different.
Interesting you say that. I understand University of Lowell, UMass Lowell, is building a video game complex on their campus.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
know.
that's what I was told, and I'll probably find that out this week when I see somebody that I know that had previously told me. I'm going to ask them how that's coming along.
Sure.
At least that was in their preview that they were talking about.
Yeah.
Or my understanding is that they were building it.
Yeah.
So look into that. That might be interesting.
Well, and I was going to add to that the robotics lab. I think it's called the UMass Lowell Robotics Lab. I actually have a friend that I went to middle school with who works over there and has talked to me a little bit. A lot of it they can't tell you about.
Interesting.
But has talked to me a little bit about some of the work they're doing. They are working for various defense contractors and things like that. And he, I think a couple of years ago, was sharing with me a project he was working on where they were basically trying to design autonomous vision so that the drone can completely control itself without any human intervention.
Wow.
With the idea being that they would be able to deploy these drones to areas that had either high radiation or otherwise lacked infrastructure. You can't have a cell connection to it. Maybe if you're going inside of a building. These drones that I've got are really amazing with their obstacle sensing. They'll generally avoid flying into something.
Oh, no kidding, yeah.
Like your car,
Right.
But they require a constant connection to a satellite. These have to be able to see the sky, and they have to be able to see my remote
What
controller.
about a cloudy day?
Clouds aren't an issue because the radio signals go right through those.
Got it.
But if I fly it into a building, I no longer have a connection to the satellites. And so it is no longer able to orient itself and track itself without the GPS system.
see.
And so they're designing a drone vision system that can do that indoors without the GPS.
Well, how come I see indoor racing with drones? I mean, I see
Those will be
TV.
FPV drones. Those will be ones that have the operators are strapped in. It's kind of it's almost like more manual control, basically.
Oh, okay.
They don't have all the sophisticated orientation and sensing systems that these do.
These are battery.
Yes,
All-
yeah.
all
These
of them.
these
I mean, it's different types of drones.
little
Yeah.
lithium batteries
Yes,
in all
okay,
of them. Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, there are there's other sources. There's hydrogen fuel cell that I was looking up. Solar powered drones.
I've seen a couple
you know,
gas powered ones. Yeah.
drones.
Yeah.
You know, and that has to. You could fly that around the world probably if it was nuke.
I think so, and I think at that point, if you're powering it with nuclear, I suspect it would be in a fixed wing aircraft, kind of like the Predator drones we have
the
now.
Predator, yeah.
Because they're more efficient for long. These quadcopters are incredibly agile. I can move in any direction very quickly.
Wow, backwards, forwards,
backwards,
like
forwards,
like
up,
a
down.
helicopter, more
Exactly.
or less. Okay, good.
But what the disadvantage to that is that they are not nearly as efficient. These use a lot more power than a fixed wing aircraft with just a single propeller, as you'd imagine. These actually, I will say, it's pretty remarkable. This drone is a DJI Mini, or excuse me, a DJI Air, and I purchased this one in 2020, and you can see it's fairly small. It's a pretty compact
Right.
package, and it has a battery that's, about fits in the palm of my hand.
Okay, and the battery lasts how long?
That's just it. So this battery lasted about 18 to 22 minutes on this drone.
Oh, that's all.
That's all.
Yeah.
This bigger drone that I've got over here, this is an Air 3S, and this one, the battery actually lasts for closer to 45 minutes.
Okay, this is pretty light.
It's still pretty light, but it's considerably larger than this one, and it makes a lot more
And
noise.
this is where the visual camera
Exactly.
moves.
And you can see you can kind of move it around there.
Yeah.
It's on a gimbal, so it can point any direction you want it to.
Okay.
And the main reason I upgraded to this drone is that it has a much bigger camera sensor.
Okay.
The flight,
What's the name of this drone?
that's an Air 3S.
That's pretty hard to come by.
Yeah, I paid more than the retail MSRP because
Is
I
that
just
you
purchased
bought it
this.
used or?
No, I bought it new, and it was pretty hard to get. So right now,
Tell me what's going on.
yeah, there's been a couple years of efforts to basically restrict, and now it looks like it's going to be a ban on the DJI products here in the U.S.
Oh, is that right?
And there's sort of two reasons for that.
Okay.
So the first one is that DJI has been accused, and I don't know I haven't verified this myself, but I believe it. Basically, the Chinese government uses some of their products in their surveillance operations, and there's some things that the U.S. objects to that China does, their government does,
I
that
see.
this is involved in. So it's on a list because of that. That's
So
sort
you
of the,
can't buy these in the United States.
well, right now you can.
Oh. So I should run out and buy one of these CJ-A3.
Basically, yeah. If you want one, now's the time to get
Okay.
it. It looks like come the end of this year, they will no longer be on the shelves.
To write that down.
Yeah, and you won't be able to buy them anymore. You will still be able to fly them. What may happen, it's looking increasingly likely, is that you won't be able to get software updates.
Oh, I
It's
see.
really.
That's right. In regards to having in high school, people can learn how to software drones. I mean,
Yeah,
kids can
you
learn how
could
to
conceively.
teach that.
I think
in regards.
I think what'll happen, what I hope happens,
Yeah.
Dean, is that this country wakes up and smells the coffee. We cannot build products like this here in the U.S., at least not right now. We used to be sort of the manufacturing hub, particularly for a lot of high-tech electronics.
Right.
They were made in the U.S.
Right.
That is no longer the case.
Transistor radios.
You betcha.
Yeah.
Computers, a lot of things, but that's not what's happening. Everything's being made in China. And so we have to either decide if we want to continue buying Chinese products or if we want to try to make them here. Right now, we just don't have the supply chain for all the parts.
The military drones that we have are being made in.
I think a lot of the
United
military
States?
drones
Oh,
are being made by U.S. companies.
Okay, good. That's good to hear.
The challenge, I should specify, this cost $1,000. That cost about $2,200.
2,200.
If you made this product in the U.S. today, it would cost maybe $5,000.
Wow.
It's just it's a price issue. It's that we can't compete with their the price that they can make it at. I hope that we invest in that supply chain and the infrastructure to be able to build products like this here in the U.S.
How many
again.
chips are in this? Do you know offhand?
A lot. So it's got, I believe, 6 cameras that are used just for obstacle detection and positioning.
Okay.
Then you've got the 2 main cameras. So every one of those is going to be a CMOS chip. Then you're going to have at least a couple of boards in there that are going to be responsible for flight control. You're going to have a board in there that's responsible just for the image processing and all that. You'll have another board in there that's a modem, basically, because it transmits wirelessly.
It tries to my phone.
Exactly. It's got, picture this, it's got everything that your phone's got in it.
Okay.
And then double that again, because it's also got command and control systems for all the different propellers and everything.
All right, I have 8 minutes. Tell me how you got your license and what you had to do to get your license.
Yeah, so I
Show
don't
me
think
your
I
license.
I don't think I have it in my pocket here,
okay.
unfortunately. But I
Okay,
just
you
got a
can
little
show me
card
later.
from the FAA that says I'm
good.
official.
Okay. So
I-
you're okay for how long?
So I have 3 years, I believe,
years,
until I
okay,
need to
3
renew.
years. Okay, that makes sense. All right.
And the way this started, I purchased this drone during COVID lockdown.
Okay, yeah.
I was bored.
Yeah.
I had some extra cash. Figured like great hobby to get
Yeah,
into. And I've really enjoyed doing it. And after I started here at CTM back in 2023, I pretty quickly realized this would be a great asset for CTM to have. For us to be able to fly these drones. And obviously, as I mentioned earlier, we used to have the capability. So it really seemed like a good idea to bring that capability back. And Pete offered to sponsor me basically to go get the license. So CTM paid for the license
How much
fee.
is the license? How much?
$175. So not
$175.
too much, but it's more than your driver's license.
Yeah.
And it's about a 60-question test.
Wow.
So you have to study, and then you go to an FAA-approved testing location,
Where is that usually?
typically at an airport.
Okay.
Regional airports will often have them.
Like Nashua?
I think there is one in Nashville.
Okay,
Yep.
all
I went to Horizon Aviation
was that?
down in, I think it was Canton, Mass.
Were you the only one tested, or was there other people?
There was one other guy there at the time, but
okay.
it's the way it works is they've got a little testing room with 3 computer stations.
Oh.
And you just make an appointment and you come in and you start at your time and finish at your time. It's not really like a class.
Yeah, I see.
And it was a hard test. I got to say.
Yeah, I looked at some of the questions. I mean,
It's-
online.
yeah.
And it was pretty hard. I mean,
They're very
just reading the
specific.
terminology.
Yeah, and I struggled a little bit because I have been out of school for 10 years and haven't had to take a test in a while, and I had sort of forgotten how to study. But I remembered, and I think I probably spent about 15, maybe 20 hours studying for the test.
Okay.
Took a bunch of practice tests.
Okay.
Was getting a high enough score that I felt like it was worth a try.
Yeah.
And so I did. I went down on a Saturday afternoon and banged it out in about an hour and a half. It wasn't too tedious.
Oh, okay.
And then they give you a paper certificate, which is your sort of temporary license.
Yeah.
And then eventually your real one comes.
Is it
from
like a driver's license, laminated, or is it a piece of
the
paper?
actual licenses? Yeah. And it's the same way that your license works, where they give you the paper. Temporary one.
Temporary.
So that's I got that, and that's on file with the Chelmsford Police Department, along with
okay.
the registration for the drone. And then, if you
Hold
don't mind,
on, just a minute.
Yep.
You have to go to the Chelmsford Police Department and file with them?
no. There's a couple reasons I did that.
Okay.
The main reason is that I work for Chelmsford Telemedia. I
Right.
am a town employee,
The-
and I'll be using this to conduct town business.
Okay. So will you help them out if some young child is lost or something?
I
like
absolutely
that?
would. They won't ask me to because they actually have an officer on the
They
force
do.
who has
his license.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's good to know.
It is, and they do use the drone for for certain emergencies.
Do they have infrared on the drone?
This one doesn't, but they make them that do. Absolutely.
Okay.
I don't know what Chelmsford Police Department has for equipment, but I would be kind of surprised if it didn't.
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah,
if you're trying to find someone in the dark.
In the dark, yeah. You want infrared, yeah.
But yeah, so it's I did that, as I say, mainly because I'm a town employee, but also, look, I know what the world is like, Dean, and people have, I think, very legitimate safety concerns, privacy concerns around these. I do think folks sometimes can be a little bit too concerned about privacy. If I see a drone flying 100 feet over my backyard,
can we shoot it down?
it's probably not there for me. No, you absolutely cannot shoot it down. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, all right. I just thought I'd ask. I mean,
Yeah, no, it's
flying over my house or something. Like
yeah,
that.
it's in that case it would be no different than if you shot down any other aircraft, which
okay.
I don't think you want to be
No.
on the hook for that.
No.
But it's as I say, people have real concerns, and with what happened last spring, I think it was, you remember we had this like drone craze. Everybody all over the country was reporting that they were seeing drones.
Oh, yeah,
It was on the
drones. Yeah, I
news. It was-
remember that, yeah.
And that whole thing, I joked at the time, like, oh, I'm going to go fly around at night just to
Yeah.
stir the pot.
Yeah.
I didn't, and I wouldn't.
Good.
But the point is, it's a new technology. People have concerns about it. I wanted the police to be
So you're going to be
ahead of it.
flying the drone over Chelmsford football game initially. Okay.
Yeah.
And please watch Chelmsford football on Chelmsford Telemedia on Channel
Thank you, Dean.
22. No problem. And if just inform your children that there will be drones flying over the football game in the future, and that's what you're going to do, fly drones. You're not going to use that initial. You're going to use other cameras also, but that's one of the.
It's one of our 6 cameras for a home
Okay.
football game.
All right.
We got a bunch.
Got that.
And it's
You will have lights on it, right? There are lights.
It has lights on it.
This one does.
It does. They both do.
okay.
And it's also
Blinking red lights or red lights?
red and green, I believe.
Red and green. Okay. So in other
And
words,
yellow, I think.
oh, okay.
There's a few different. It's impossible
Is it like
to miss.
port and starboard?
Yes, they're indicator lights.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But but generally speaking, as you said, it's you can't hover over a crowd of people with it.
Right.
If
Well, it's
I'm
like a
flying
helicopter.
from one place
That's
to
like
another.
a helicopter. You can't fly over a crowd with a helicopter.
Yeah. Pretty common sense stuff
Yeah.
for the most part.
Yeah.
And that's it. It really adds a very cool perspective to be able to look at things from up high. Particularly for who I think it's really going to be helpful for is our very talented color commentators. So we've got Bruce Byam in the booth,
Right.
along with Howie and Neil and Rob Russo, and those guys do a phenomenal job.
Right.
But they can only see so much.
That's right.
If you can get up above the field and really see the line of scrimmage,
Or the goal line.
when you get your replay, where you can actually see that line of scrimmage on a goal line play,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
example,
exactly.
it's going to be huge.
Yeah.
So we're really excited about it.
Yeah, good. I'm glad. I'd like to see that. I'll be watching Chelmsford Telemedia football games now.
I hope so.
And see your drone. You'll be flying the drone, right?
I will, yeah, at least for now. In the future, my goal is to be able to supervise the kids and have them fly.
What about
That is allowed, but-
what about teaching it at a club level in Chelmsford High School or
I'm certainly open
class?
to it, you know.
Oh, okay.
If I was asked, I would be happy to instruct a class.
Somebody
like
has
that.
to do it. Right?
I think, you know, to your point, it's there are a lot of towns around us that are starting to think about it. A
Yeah.
lot of universities I know have started to integrate it into their
Right,
curriculum.
right.
It's the future, man. You got to get
Yeah.
with it. So
Yeah.
I would love
It's
to
like
teach that
computers.
class. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, let's look at it that way. If it's like computers, I mean, then let's
They're
let's
here.
go.
They're going to be everywhere. Might as well learn how to use them. right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I have like 30 seconds to go. Do you have anything to say?